What's up, YouTube? This is Mathos97 and welcome to my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. This is the 45th installment of the series, and we're here with Monday Night Raw after that botched intro. So as we can see, we kick off the show as the Rated R Superstar Edge takes on Rob Van Dam. The Miz, R-Truth, and Curtis Axel, or on the night, I will call them Team Raw, defeats Fandango, Damian Sandow, and The Big Show, which is Team SmackDown. I'll touch on that in a little bit. Daniel Bryan knocks off Booker T in a one-on-one matchup, so that's a good victory there for Bryan as he makes his return to the ring. Cameron, with Naomi in her corner, will take on Emma, with Paige in her corner. Seth Rollins defeats Heath Slater. So Slater, one of the new members from the Supplemental Draft coming over to Raw, well, he's met with a not-so-warm welcome from Seth Rollins. And in the main event, the World Heavyweight Champion Christian will take on the former United States Champion Alberto Del Rio. So that's going to be a big main event. Two of our newest Raw acquisitions are going to be competing in our matches here tonight. First of all, we have the Rated R Superstar Edge, who's competing here in the opening matchup, and we will see Christian later on in the main event. So I hope you're all looking forward to that matchup when that does come around. But yes, I did mention the Supplemental Draft just moments ago, and basically the whole point of a Supplemental Draft is to, balance out what went down from the draft. So SmackDown did get some of the, the higher picks, in terms of, number. It was 6-4 in terms of what was showcased. However, that did leave Raw a little bit shy on superstars, so due to the Supplemental Draft, they did bring over a few superstars. As you saw earlier on, they got Fandango, Damian Sandow, and Heath Slater. Now, normally, the Supplemental Draft is more of a, superstars that get brought over normally tend to be like the jobbers and whatnot. I see it as kind of a cheap way to bring people over to the roster without actually featuring them, because then it's just like, hey, if you don't really have the time to bring them over to the new show on, the actual draft, in the actual TV, televised, YouTube-avised, web-avised episode, you just use the Supplemental Draft. And originally, I wasn't sure what I was going to do about a Supplemental Draft, but in thinking about it, there were a few superstars I did want to move over to Raw, just because Raw was looking a bit understaffed, I guess I would say, in terms of, comparing the rosters. They were imbalanced. SmackDown, I think, had closer to 30 superstars by that point, and Monday Night Raw had 22 or something. It was lower on the scale, so I wanted to bring a few superstars over to SmackDown, or to Raw from SmackDown, and I figured the guys I brought over weren't really being utilized much anyway on SmackDown, or even if they were, very sparingly, especially somebody like Heath Slater. Since he's a creative wrestler, he tends to just be used for, squash matches. That's basically what Heath Slater has been in this year's Universe Mode. So, I really didn't think it would be a huge deal to bring somebody like that over. And when we're looking at Fandango and Sandow, those are two superstars I've been wanting to use more of in Universe Mode anyway. So, I don't know, it works out. Although, hopefully next year, the WWE Draft is going to be a bit more balanced in terms of draft picks, and hopefully the roster, it can, kind of even itself out. But we'll figure that out when we do get to the next WWE Draft. But hopefully by that point I won't be using another Supplemental Draft, because I don't really like it too much. I can understand, maybe a couple picks, which is why I only sent really those 3 over to the new show, using the Supplemental Draft. As long as you use it sparingly, I think it's okay. But if you have, say, 10, 15 superstars moving brands doing the Supplemental Draft, that's just too much, because then, your fans would have to try to keep track of that, because, it's different when you see it happen on an actual episode, when it's there, you saw that who went where and you know what's going on, but then you just see somebody randomly show up on a new brand. It's like, wait, how did this happen? I don't know. I don't think it's as easier to adjust to. But anyway, that's enough about the Supplemental Draft. We're looking at right now 2 superstars who could they're trying to boost their ranking here on Raw. We have the mainstay like Rob Van Dam, who, oh, wait a minute, look at this execution right there. DDT on RVD. He's going to go for the cover. Could pick up the victory right here. Kick out by Van Dam. But of course, Van Dam, he has been on Monday Night Raw for a long time now. He was brought over in a trade with SmackDown way back in WWE 13 towards the later stages of, or maybe it was 2K14. I believe it. I know he debuted about half-ish way, maybe like 2/3 of the way through WWE 13 Universe Mode, and then he was brought over to Monday Night Raw in a trade later on. So Van Dam has been on Monday Night Raw for at least half the series to this point. Whereas Edge, you know, he's just getting brought over here, so he's got to try to make a big splash. As we can see, Van Dam got busted open there, so Edge really has the advantage at the moment. Van Dam not looking too good. So Edge needs to make a strong debut here to Raw. He needs to put on an epic I can't talk for some reason. Put on an epic performance against Rob Van Dam. Whereas Van Dam, you know, he's had his opportunities here on Raw. He just hasn't quite built himself up to championship contention. And we have seen him team up with Cesaro in the past as a member of Swiss Thunder. But now that Cesaro's won the United States Championship, says Van Dam, he's probably going to be thinking, you know, to really just, I mean, because Van Dam's been acting as sort of a mentor to Cesaro. So I think a match between those two for the U.S. title would definitely be a good opportunity for Van Dam to kind of give Cesaro a little bit more instruction, teach him maybe another lesson in terms of being a WWE superstar. But it is ironic that the teacher did not win the championship before the student. Of course, Van Dam, man, look at that. Van Dam, the blood is just all over his face there. Maybe even into his eyes. Oh, wait a minute. Van Dam's going to the top rope. Could be thinking 5-star, but Edge was just getting back to his feet. Van Dam, he was unable to attempt the frog splash from the top rope. At least I believe that's what Van Dam was going for. Delivers another knee lift to the gut of Edge. Edge is in trouble right now. Van Dam, he's back up on the top rope. Well, look at this. Corkscrew splash off the top rope. Hooks the leg on Edge. 2. No, kick out by Edge. Another close call there in this matchup, but Edge right back to his feet. Van Dam misses a kick. And now Edge. Look at this. Oh! Counter by Van Dam as he takes Edge. He was able to counter whatever Edge was going for there. And take him down with a hip toss. But Edge now back in control as he takes Van Dam down with a nice arm breaker there. Oh! Enziguri to the back of the head of Edge from Van Dam. And RVD is looking good right now. He's managed to turn the tides back in his favor. And of course, Van Dam, you know, he has had a longer career than Cesaro as I go back to what I was saying earlier. Covered by Van Dam again, but kick out by Edge. So Van Dam, I mean, he has had his success in the past, but in Universe Mode, you know, he hasn't really achieved the success that he was probably hoping to achieve. But a victory over Edge, a superstar who competed for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, that would definitely put Van Dam in good standing here on Raw. I mean, we did see Van Dam defeat CM Punk, who at the time was the #1 contender for the WWE Championship the week before WrestleMania. So Van Dam, a victory over Edge actually could really raise him up the ranks here for either championship, whether he wants to go after the WWE or the United States Championship. Whereas Edge, I think Edge, he needs this win more, considering he's making his Raw debut. He's new here. He needs to enter with a bang. He needs to have a big explosive entrance, and I think a good way to do that would be to score the win over Van Dam here tonight. Counter by Edge as Van Dam bounces off the ropes. Edge looking for something, but wait, counter by Van Dam. Roll up here. 2 count. Kick out by Edge at 2.5. And another close call there. Edge almost got caught napping. Oh, what a clothesline there to Van Dam. And Edge may have just taken Van Dam's head off with that one. Look at this. Ducks a clothesline. Oh, and there's the Edge-o-matic. 2 count. Edge scores the win over Van Dam with that sit-out mat slam. Van Dam, back of his head, bouncing off the mat. And that allowed Edge to score the victory. So Edge, he got that big victory he needed, making his way over to Raw. And, you know, if he wants to get back into the World Heavyweight Championship title picture yet again, perhaps to get that match against his best friend Christian that he and Christian have always wanted, well, Edge, that's certainly going to get him on the right track. He may have lost to CM Punk last week, but Edge with a nice bounce-back victory here tonight. And perhaps we could be seeing Edge challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship once again in the near future. Of course, we do know Ziggler is going to be facing Christian for the world title at Extreme Rules due to Ziggler's victory over Christian on SmackDown, but Edge could just be waiting in the wings. And yes, that is correct. I did just say that Christian and Dolph Ziggler will be competing for the World Heavyweight Championship. That match is official. It is confirmed after Ziggler's victory over Christian on SmackDown. And in case you're wondering, you want a bit of an update, what is the Extreme Rules match card so far? Well, we've got the United States Championship defended by Cesaro in a match against Alberto Del Rio. We have the the World Heavyweight Championship, which will be between Christian and Dolph Ziggler. So that's already 2 matches we've got set up. We've, of course, got the Tag Team Championship title matchup. That's going to be taking place between the Wyatt family and The Shield, which I did mention at least in the last episode and maybe last week on Raw. I don't quite remember. But there's also another matchup that has just recently been added onto the match card following SmackDown, as it will be the Intercontinental Championship being defended between the current champion Titus O'Neil and the former champion Ryback. So the big guy is going to be getting an opportunity to win back the Intercontinental Championship that he never lost. I mean, he was never pinned, he was never submitted to lose the title. Titus O'Neil in that Fatal 4-Way did get the win over Cody Rhodes. So, Ryback, he wants that rematch clause. He wants his title back. So, that's yet another matchup to add to Extreme Rules. Looking pretty good. And, of course, we got the Divas Championship, which will be defended by Brie Bella. Against who, though? We do not quite know. But these next few matches here for the Divas, these next few couple of weeks are going to be a good opportunity to determine that #1 contender. We did see Natalya pick up a victory on SmackDown. Paige got a win over Nikki Bella on the last episode of Raw. And Tamina also unleashed that attack on Summer Rae. So we got a lot of divas trying to step up to get that potential title opportunity. And now we've got Emma making her debut to Universe Mode. So Emma, this is a good time for her to debut, as the Divas division is in a bit of a state of flux at the moment. Now that Summer Rae has been knocked out of the title picture, we need a new contender. So I think Emma, she couldn't have picked a better time to debut. Even if she probably won't be ready for Extreme Rules, who's to say she won't make it to Payback? I mean, the Divas division is pretty slim in terms of, you look at the superstars where there's a bunch of them there, whether it's the no matter the division, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, they can kind of jump between divisions, whereas in the Divas division, there's only one championship for them to compete for. And with there only being about, I've done the math before with how many Divas are in this game, but I don't remember. That's something that just kind of floats out of my head. I believe it's something like 9 Divas in this year's game. It could be even less than that. But that really just gives them an opportunity. It's kind of difficult for them to kind of get the slow build towards the title. Yeah, they can just they can get there fairly quickly as long as they string together enough victories, like Paige and Tamina have. They're still fairly new, debuted back in February, but they've made their impact fairly quickly, and they've managed to get themselves in position where they could very well be competing for the Divas Championship at Extreme Rules. So when you take a look at Emma in that perspective, she could very well be competing for the Divas Championship, not at Extreme Rules, but it could be at the May pay-per-view in June. I mean, Emma, as long as she can just get her victories, if she can get them in now, I mean, she could very well be the next contender in the future. But look at this, the dilemma locked in by Emma. But of course, with that being a move in the ropes, that's going to force a rope break. So Emma, she can't make Cameron tap out there. That's a 2 count, kick out by Cameron. And look at this, ref, Naomi's in the ring. Get her out. Is this not a disqualification? Well, I guess she didn't do anything, so I don't. Is that a disqualification? She just entered the ring blatantly. I guess she didn't interfere, but is there a rule for that? I mean, I don't understand. But Naomi, you know, as you can see, she was trying to help Cameron out there. I mean, she basically did everything she could as a manager. That definitely did distract Emma momentarily, but she hits a nice drop kick in the corner to Cameron there. As Emma, she's been looking impressive in her debut matchup right here. Oh, clothesline right there by Cameron. And Emma now, she's been thrown for a loop right there. She's dazed. Another clothesline by Cameron. As Cameron now, she's looking to get her second win in this matchup. Look at this drop kick right to the face of Emma. And Cameron, could be her opportunity to start to mount some offense in here. As she's got Emma staggered. Cameron, what's she looking to do? She's got Emma center of the ring, but Emma with a counter. Look at this. Wait a minute. Crucifix. Crucifix cover. 1, 2, 3. No. Kick out by Cameron at the last second. And imagine what a loss like this would be for Cameron. I mean, she's lost to Tamina and Paige when they were new to the roster. And now imagine if she would lose to Emma here. I think Cameron would have to be almost questioning her career, her standing in the Divas division, because she's been defeated by just about every diva on the roster. Wait a minute, referee! Referee, that's a disqualification right there. I guess the referee, he's not going to call this. He's not going to call the DQ. He wants to let this match continue. He wants to give Emma the opportunity to win this matchup fair and square. But, I mean, come on. Naomi, just blatant interference. But Emma, she's managed to rebound pretty nicely there. She's got the dilemma locked in once again. Naomi was trying to, I don't know if she was trying to go after her hair there or what Naomi's thinking. There's another pinfall attempt, but another kick out by Cameron. Wow. I mean, Paige, she's doing what a manager should be doing in this kind of a matchup. You know, you want your manager to, well, not your manager, but you would want to see managers stay out of the action. I mean, that was just blatant interference by Naomi. This isn't a no disqualification match. I mean, I'm sure Cameron, she's probably satisfied that Naomi is trying to help her out. But, I mean, come on. You got to stay within the rules. The first interference may have been a bit questionable, considering she didn't actually touch Emma. But then, I mean, that second one, that was blatant interference. I don't know. I'm just shocked with these referees. Whether it's in 2006 or whether it's in WWE 2K15, these referees just seem to be all over the place. It's just, I don't know, it's just like the month of the referee. They're just going on a rampage. No pun intended. I just realized who's at ringside. Anywho, Cameron, she had Emma backed into a corner there, but Emma with a nice elbow to counter. Oh, look at that counter by Cameron. Emma was looking for a Hurricanrana, but Cameron just power bombed her into the mat. And this is, wait a minute, small package right here. 1, 2, 3. Emma has knocked off Cameron here. And I'm sure the Funkadactyls, they're not going to be too happy about that one as they continue to lose, especially in terms, when you look at Cameron. Cameron has just been not very successful in singles competition. And, you know, the Funkadactyls, they've just struggled really ever since debuting to the WWE. And now, as we can see, Cameron, she has been defeated by Emma in Emma's debut. So it's a successful debut for Emma. Paige, you can see, celebrating with her best friend. These two, you know, they work together down in NXT. They have mutual respect for each other. And Paige now, it appears as though she's found a new ally here in the WWE. And Emma, you know, if you want to have some good allies, you know what they say, you want to keep your friends close. So perhaps Emma, if she tags along with Paige, that could definitely give Emma some quicker success, a quicker rise to success than some of the divas of the past. I mean, when you compare her to somebody like AJ Lee, who really hasn't won the Divas Championship yet, and she's been in Universe Mode since almost the very beginning. So AJ, she on one hand has been, you know, a very slow rise to the top, and she's struggled in numerous matches. She hasn't really been able to push herself past that glass ceiling. She hasn't been able to capture the gold, that brass ring that's just eluded her grasp. But we take a look at someone like Paige and Tamina and maybe even Emma. They're really stepping up their game, and they could, they could definitely eclipse AJ in a fraction of the amount of time it took AJ to get to where she is currently today. But that's enough talk about that one. It's time to move on to the main event of this evening, as Christian, the World Heavyweight Champion, Raw's final draft pick for the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode Draft, will be facing off against the former United States Champion, Alberto Del Rio. And Del Rio, obviously, he's not going to be competing against Christian for the World Heavyweight Championship anytime soon. Del Rio's got his sights set on the U.S. title. Dolph Ziggler is going to be competing against Christian at Extreme Rules. We already know those two matches are going to be taking place. But still, when you're looking at this from Del Rio's perspective, he's coming off his championship loss to Cesaro at WrestleMania, and he needs a bounce-back victory. And what a way to do that. If you could defeat Christian, the World Heavyweight Champion, who won his triple threat match at WrestleMania, this would be a good opportunity for Del Rio to really get that momentum back in his favor. Try to prepare himself for his match against Cesaro. I mean, we did see last week that Del Rio won a triple threat matchup against R-Truth and Cesaro. So Del Rio, if he can get another victory here, a singles victory, and a match over another champion, Del Rio, he really could have the momentum in his corner. Perhaps he could even appear to be the favorite heading into Extreme Rules. And I'm debating whether or not there's going to be some sort of stipulation on that matchup yet, because considering this would be the third time these two have faced off, perhaps we could see a submission match. That'd be something different, something unique, or maybe we could go with the traditional Extreme Rules matchup, considering what the pay-per-view is, and considering these two have faced off before. They do have some bad blood with each other, so I don't know. We'll leave that up to debate just yet, what kind of a matchup that's going to be. But anyway, so we can see Christian was going for a drop kick in the corner, but Del Rio was able to sidestep. And Christian, on the other hand, he's in the same boat as Edge was earlier on. Although Christian is the champion, he's not really in the contender's role that Edge currently is. But Christian, I would think, being the champion, that's just that much more pressure, that much more of a need to win this matchup here tonight, because you're the champ. If you lose, you're going to look weak on the new show, not have the very impressive debut to your new show, and now, you'll look vulnerable. And especially if you lose against somebody who's not even in the World Championship division, Del Rio definitely could potentially challenge Christian for the title down the road, perhaps. But especially, just not only for Dolph Ziggler, the fact that Christian's going to be facing Ziggler at the pay-per-view. Christian wants all the momentum he can get. But with the fact that he's now on Monday Night Raw, it's a new show, new roster, he can't afford to look weak. As we can see, Del Rio off the enziguri in the corner, went for the pinfall attempt, but Christian was able to kick out. And now look at this, Del Rio, cross-arm breaker applied. Christian, he's too far away from the ropes. He's going to have to fight his way out of this one, or he's going to have to tap out. As Del Rio, he's defeated many an opponent with this submission hold. Christian, is he going to be able to get out of it? Yes, he just manages to escape the submission hold. He manages to keep himself alive in this matchup. And now Christian, he's looking to go on the attack. Nice running elbow to the face of Del Rio. And Del Rio, he was a former member of the SmackDown roster as well. Never competed against Christian, but Del Rio, he's a former world champion himself. So this is a good opportunity for Christian to face off against a former superstar of his status, former world champion. And, that would just kind of, that adds a little bit more behind this matchup. Is, Del Rio, he knows what it's like to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and he knows what it's like to lose it. He was, for a while there, he was the only superstar besides Sheamus to hold the world title, and that was all the way up till SummerSlam, which was a good first half of the series up to this point. So, I mean, just taking a look at it, Del Rio, he's had a taste of success, and it took him a while to get adjusted over here on Raw. His first arrival to Raw wasn't exactly, it wasn't the best of arrivals, to say the least. I mean, he lost to CM Punk at No Way Out. He lost to Daniel Bryan. But, oh, Del Rio won. Okay, I was looking away for a second. I didn't see what happened, but Del Rio, he scores the win over Christian here tonight. And Christian, well, just like it was with Del Rio, Christian having a bit of a rough start. A rough arrival here to Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I didn't see what happened. It looked like Del Rio hit that suplex there. And, of course, after the cross arm breaker, the kick to the back of the head. And Christian probably still feeling the effects of, I mean, he was working double duty on SmackDown. And not only that, but the grueling triple threat match at WrestleMania. Who's to say that Christian has fully recovered? What is this? I thought I'd seen it all tonight, folks, but now Mark Henry from SmackDown, well, it's clear that he's got unfinished business with Christian, but Del Rio entering the ring, clotheslining Mark Henry over the top rope. So Del Rio, maybe, I don't know if he's looking out for Christian. I wouldn't say that. That doesn't seem like the kind of guy Del Rio is, but perhaps showing a bit of brand loyalty here, maybe showing that he's welcoming Christian here to Raw, that he believes that, you know, we're on the same brand. We should work together and crush SmackDown. But that's it for this episode. I've rambled long enough. I want to thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep on YouTubing.